12 months, 8 different countries. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm doing exactly what I said I would be doing. And I genuinely wake up with happiness, genuinely waking up with passion in my soul and drive to continue to strive, to do more, to do bigger things, to achieve more things, to impact more lives. This video is for the man that actually wants to reach his full potential. He wants to rewire his identity and become the 2.0 version of himself. Now, you're not gonna get there if you're not getting yourself uncomfortable. So if you feel like you're currently in a situation where you're happy, you're content, you don't want to get uncomfortable, this video is not for you. So I'm going to save you the time. Click off the video. The guy that actually wants to get uncomfortable, wants to reach his full potential, this video is for you. Now, first things first, you're not going to reach your full potential if you don't actually take a leap of faith and you start limiting your time. Start saying no to people and start changing your environment. Now, what do I mean by this? For me, I literally had to cut off majority of my friends. Frankly speaking, pretty much all of my friends that weren't aligned with me. And that was perfectly okay with me. It was a little bit sad at the time being alone because it's very difficult to be alone. But when you're able to actually say no, when you're able to cut people off, your mind starts to get next level clarity. Now you're gonna start to realize you've been wasting a lot of your time. You've been doing things you shouldn't be doing, and you begin to value time a lot more. You begin to actually get yourself into a flow state. Now, I'm currently in Thailand, Bangkok, and one of the reasons why I'm here and actually ended up leaving Canada is because I felt like Canada wasn't even pushing me. I felt like I reached my full potential there, and nobody had that same mindset, that same drive as me. Now, obviously there are some people there, but I was like, okay, whatever. I want to get outside of my comfort zone, so I did. Now, you don't have to leave your home country behind, but you do have to change your environment. That is a mandatory. Whether that's cutting people off, whether that's relocating, has to be something. Maybe leaving your hometown has to be something. Now, once you do change your environment, it's always going to change. It's not going to look the same year after year, but now you begin to have clarity. Now you begin to go into that flow state. And once you start to see what you've been doing all these years and they kept you stuck, now you can start undoing these things. The progress isn't going to come like this, but now I would actually focus on building your schedule. Build yourself a routine. Solidify your routine. It doesn't have to be you waking up at 5 a.m. every single solitary morning, but it has to be something. Could be you using a Google Calendar, getting yourself into a better flow state, better organized. That's step one. Could be you maybe removing distractions. Evening time, you're not scrolling, doom scrolling, or you're not watching Netflix. You're actually prioritizing that time, maybe to read a book, maybe to listen to a podcast, maybe to actually hone in on a skill. Now, if you're one of those guys that's currently working 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, and you're finding it difficult for yourself to get into a routine, but you want to get better, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. Your life is always going to be hectic. Your life is always going to have some sort of pressure, some sort of responsibility that's on your shoulders. And if you just can't say, screw it, you're going to stay the same. Other guys are going to continue winning, continue to level up in all aspects of their life, and you're just going to watch from the sidelines while other people win. Now, I don't want you to be in that spot. I don't want anybody to be in that spot where they're watching other guys, arguably with less talent than them, just continue to crush it. Better shape, better finances, better everything. Now, this is going to sound really harsh, but the next version of yourself, the way he operates, is nowhere near what you're doing now. he doesn't have those same habits, those same tendencies. He doesn't move like you are currently moving. So you gotta start putting yourself in his shoes. What is that next version of yourself doing every single day that you're currently not doing? Where is he putting most of his time towards? Is it skills? Is it getting in better physical condition? Is it something else? Is it eating better, eating healthier? Now, I guarantee you, and I can speak from experience, once you get yourself into a better routine, once you get your body right, everything in your life starts to become right as well, because you build your discipline, your mind gets more clear, your mindset is also better, and you start attracting more good into your life. A man who is in shape clearly signals to the world and to the people around him that he takes care of himself. He has respect for himself, he's disciplined, he's ambitious, and he is performing at a level in which society views him as a respectable figure. Now, if you want people to be proud of you, if you want people to respect you, the best thing you can possibly do is to work on your physical, to get your body right. Now, once you got your body right, everything else starts to naturally come together as well. A lot of the men that are pursuing a life in which they have, let's say, freedom, financial freedom, now that could look different from person to person, but that freedom comes from you actually building yourself from within. And that doesn't always have to be you dedicating every single solitary day, 2 hours a day in the gym. That could be small baby steps, small habits. That could be you eating healthier, finally dedicating yourself to an actual plan, to an actual structure. Actually saying, okay, I don't want to be stuck where I'm currently at, and then getting better. Now, I speak to a lot of men that are business owners, very successful entrepreneurs, big companies, and they all have that same piece of mental frame. They always say, Ernest, I never once complained about my current situation, but I never once also stayed satisfied. I always knew I could do better. And you gotta think of everything that way as well. You never want to be just miserable and unhappy, but you don't want to be completely satisfied. You gotta have gratitude within, but you also gotta be pursuing more, pursuing better every single day. Every day when you wake up, you gotta ask yourself, what can I do to get 1% better every single solitary day? It doesn't have to be just in the gym. It doesn't have to be just with your body. It could be with anything. Now, for me, that's what can I do to move my business forward, to impact more lives, to change other men's lives, to actually genuinely have a very drastic impact in other people's lives. A lot of that, for me, is what I focus on because I've already reached my dream physique. I'm already very content with my dream physique, with my current physique. But I'm still working on myself. There's always things to improve. Now, if you're one of those guys that's currently waking up and you're like, there's nothing that comes to mind, I'm content. You actually don't stay stagnant. You actually don't stay in the same spot. You're actually regressing. There's only two states that you can be in. You're actually progressing or you're regressing. I don't believe in the state where you're maintaining. There's no such thing as maintenance. There's maintenance within your body, within your physique, you can maintain. But if you're not pursuing something more within your life every single solitary day, other people around you are, and you're always going to be either regressing or obviously pursuing something better. Now, I hope this video helped you out. If you actually want to reach your full potential, take these pieces of advice, apply them to your life, and I guarantee you're going to start to see your life shifting.